What if it's just one guy that always does it?
It's just one guy.
Consistent, like,
And everyone's seeing it.
It's like the guy that walks around Toronto. I don't know if you've seen this.
Well, I've seen the guy with the sign.
I've seen the guy that he wears like big rubber boots, and then he wears a shirt that says "I hate rubber boots."
no.
Oh, really?
He spends a lot of time like walking.
Okay, welcome back to SMC Literature and Lore, where we write and read SMC fanfiction, except not today, because today we are doing a bonus episode, and it's unlike anything anyone has ever heard of, I think. Props to original ideas, hopefully. So this episode is actually a TTC-themed episode, and I couldn't do this on my own. I had to bring in a couple of guests to really... one with a huge background on the TTC, and one in the theme of, I guess, like, branching out, and, you know, the TTC, I guess, is really great because we can go places. Mm-hmm. On the theme of going places, I have now brought to me a podcaster from a different UofT college. So with me today, I have Logan and Zach. Why don't you guys say hi?
Hi, folks. My name's Logan. I am I hesitate to say graduate student because I've finished my graduate studies at UofT.
Woo-woo!
Yeah, but I'm yet to graduate, so I'm in the limbo of being a grad student at UofT, and my research was studying cultural aspects of the TTC. So that's why Mac has brought me here today.
And because I genuinely enjoy your company.
Yes, I love Mac's company. We're good.
Okay, yeah, amazing.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Zach. As Mac already said, I am the podcast host of the Innis Herald Podcast. Shout out Innis Herald.
Mm-hmm,
we are on Spotify. Mm-hmm. You know, I know Mac. We're classmates together.
Yep.
She was very cool. She was on our podcast for a collab, so I'm just, returning the favor right here. I'm
Yes.
much less of a TTC expert than Logan. I'm just here for the vibes and, here to have some fun.
Yeah, different perspectives. Very cool. What is your podcast called on Spotify? Is it called...
Yeah, it's literally called the Innis Herald Podcast.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
No, that's so helpful. Amazing. Okay, so we are going to do a bit of an intro. Throughout this series, I've done a lot of intro bits myself, and I don't feel like I have any updates for me, but we're going to segue to you guys. We're going to popcorn. So, Logan, you mentioned that you are in the end of your master's, and the reason we know each other is because we were both residence dons.
That's correct.
You're like, I can confirm.
Yes.
So we were both residence dons at St. Mike's, and I was just wondering if you could really kind of describe how you brought the TTC theme into St. Mike's. Like, how did you bring your background to St. Mike's?
I can absolutely answer that, Mac.
Okay.
So I was a don at St. Mike's in the last academic year. So that was 2024 to 25, which feels like a long...
2025. Oh, because we're
Yeah.
2025, 2026.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So it feels like a long time. I was also a summer don. So I was here for a full year living in
Wow.
the historic houses. And I was drawn to the historic houses and applied to St. Mike's to be a don specifically because I was like, well, what's up with that? My heritage research is sort of about historic buildings. So I was like, this is a perfect fit. And it was an excellent fit. And I made it an even more so excellent fit because when I was designing my floor theme for, I guess I was in Historic House 6 and 8 was my building.
It sounds like you don't remember.
I almost don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 6 and 8, it's the muscle memory of saying 6 and 8.
Yeah.
That's how I know that's where I was. But I designed door tags for all my students and
Nice.
other posters and things, and they were all TTC themed, obviously, knowing me. So this was something that I wanted to do when I was at Trent University in undergrad. But it doesn't exactly make sense to have a TTC theme at a university in Peterborough, Ontario. So it was my chance. So I got photos. I didn't take the photos, but I got photos of all of the stations, like the tile work of the stations.
Yeah.
And then I, in Photoshop, erased the name of the station and then used like a similar font and put the student's name where the station name would be. So they sort of had all their own stations. I tried to do some fun things where if there was like a roommate pair, one of them got like the yellow line version of St. George and the roommate got the green line version of St. George and some other fun stuff like that. But yeah, it was it was a very fun process. I felt really good about it. And I also really wanted to share it with like TTC folks because I feel like TTC enthusiasts would be interested to know about that, but I didn't exactly want to dox all my students and like their names. So I never did that, but I might like make up fake names and then like share it with the TTC Reddit. We'll see.
Yes.
Watch this space.
And see what how it blows up. Yeah.
Yes,
People will freak out.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's so cool. So do you think you have a lot of like crazy knowledge about the TTC?
I think I definitely do now.
Now?
I think, especially after doing my research term was quite compressed because I cram with everything. So
I feel like that's very relatable.
I did essentially all of my research, especially the TTC background research for my master's in about like 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
So I learned a lot about the TTC in a very short period. But the thing is, there's so much more that I could know. I feel like I sometimes undercut myself as a TTC enthusiast because there's so many like middle-aged men that have spent their entire lives like learning about the TTC that know like way more than I feel like I'll ever know. But as far as like TTC in the lens of archaeology, which is my particular research, I feel like I am quite an expert. And I know a lot about the original stretch of the TTC because I had to narrow my research. So my research was studying just Eglinton to Union, like that stretch, which was the original stretch that opened in 1954.
Is Eglinton to Union line 1?
That's part of line 1. Yeah,
Okay.
That's the original part of line 1. Yeah.
Crazy. That's awesome. Well, if ever you want to share fun facts about St. Mike's, here on this podcast, we love fun facts. Like, I specifically dedicated a section to fun facts, so which we are kind of going to segue into, like, the first part. But thanks so much for sharing that. That's
thank
so
you.
cool.
I could talk about it for a long time.
You're on the right episode,
Yes.
man. I just want to say, going into 6 and 8, I absolutely loved your theme. It was so original, and it really transformed the space. Like,
Thank you.
it will always be known as like your year being like the TTC year. So it's very like associated with you and your personality. I think that's really cool.
Yes, I had a really good time doing it, and I feel like that was I knew it was probably going to be my last year to be a Don. I had been a Don for like 4 years at that point, so it was my last hurrah. I'm glad it was well received.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, we're gonna popcorn to Zach.
Okay.
Do you actually have any relationship with St. Mike's, or is it just like, is this the first time you've been in Brennan Hall? Is my question.
Probably. Actually, no. I've been to you guys have a buffet upstairs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
I was like thinking Brennan 200, and I was like, wait, there's like classrooms directly above us, but yes, in the cafeteria. Yes.
You remember Chung from 242?
Oh my gosh, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. So I was talking to him one time about like the food on campus.
Yeah.
And he was like, the St. Mike's buffet is really good. I'm like, I have to try. Dude, it was so, I cannot, dude.
That's,
The
no, that's so good.
value, guys.
Wow.
Dude, I've never seen a buffet, Like, because, when you come in the first year, everyone's like, okay, so if you want the good food on campus, it's New College.
Okay, I didn't know this.
Yeah, but that's what I've always heard.
Okay.
And then, so I went to New College, and I tried it, and I was like, it's all right, but it's
Out
like
of 10, what would you rate it?
5 or 6, maybe.
I thought you were gonna say 6 or 7.
See, I was actively trying to avoid that. Like, I thought about it. I was like, no, there's gonna be so many people. I was like,
okay. So like 5 or 6. Okay. So
yeah.
mid.
And it was pretty mid, honestly. And the pricing was like, it was questionable sometimes.
Okay.
But oh my god, dude, you guys had like a buffet, and it was like, I'm gonna sound so fat saying this, but you guys had like an entire tray of chicken drumsticks.
Yes, we do.
And Sean paid like the $5 buffet fee or whatever, and I went back for like 8th.
That's the point, though.
Yeah,
that's honestly the point.
That's the beauty of the Kroom. I was literally actually thinking about the Kroom, I think, last night.
Oh my God.
Maybe it was because I knew I was coming here, but I was like, when I was here at St. Mike's and having the meal plan included in my labor costs being gone, I tried not to take it for granted. I was like, isn't it just incredible that I can just walk up and I can just get food whenever? And
Unlimited.
it's usually, you can usually find something that's good. Yeah.
If nothing else, there is cereal.
Yes. If nothing else, there's cereal. If nothing else, there's usually some form of chicken, hopefully a vat of tzatziki and hummus.
Sometimes they have good fries, which is always a go-to. But there's a lot of chicken. There's chicken all day, every day.
Yeah.
And the excitement that you're showing is refreshing because as a person who has eaten at that same cafeteria for 3 years, I am excited to be moving off of residence. But that's really cool. So would you rate the St. Mike's Canada room higher than New College?
Definitely. That one was like an 8 out of 10, I think.
Wow. Yeah. Logan, strategically, do you think Zach went on one of the days that the crew was performing? Like, performative
like
meals?
a performative meal day?
Yeah, because, like, we have student tours happening.
Really?
And that's when they vamp up the food quality.
Oh.
So, like, it's possible. Or maybe that you were just...
Maybe
you're just so new to the Canada room and your spark
It was just like my first time, you know? It was like the honeymoon phase.
Yes, no, literally. It lasts only one day.
Yeah, only one day.
Yeah, the really interesting thing for the Canada room, I feel like the student tours are one thing.
Yeah.
I feel like when St. Mike's has conferences, that's the other time when it kind of kicks into high gear.
Yeah.
But I can imagine, thinking back to my time at the Canada room, chicken legs often were there.
Oh, always.
I feel like I got a little bit, I don't want to say like tired, but at a certain point, I would walk in and I'd be like, if I have to take meat off a bone, I'm not eating.
Yeah.
Like, so
you're done.
beeline for the smoothie station. I got really into that in the second half of my time here.
I think they tried to make it better this year, the smoothie station especially. Yes. Which is nice, and I can't remember in what specific way, but I was gonna say, now I forget. I don't know. The Croom is a time. I mean, yesterday they had like not bad pasta and a rosé sauce. You know, like by the pizza
station.
And so I only had that because they had chicken yesterday, drumsticks, and so I was like, I'll get the pasta, and I had just 2 straight plates of pasta. And
Love that. Like, you know what?
That's it.
When it works, it works.
Yeah. But sometimes what you gotta do is you gotta put a ton of pepper and salt. You gotta season it yourself.
Yes.
They don't season it.
They're very mild on the.
Yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, so very cool. So you knew Chong.
Yeah.
He's a residence don this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So he was what we did last year, and he's been absolutely incredible. If we need, we can shout him out.
Amazing. Shout out Chong, guys.
Yeah, shout out Chong. I never knew Chong, but I know that when we were doing like Dawn selection things, when the Dons saw that Chong was on the list,
everyone got really excited.
Let's go, Chong! They're like going crazy, and I was like, "Who is this guy?"
Finally, it's time.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he's been really good. I've been hearing great things about him establishing like this community and stuff. So It's been good. And like from a Dean's Cup perspective, like as a Dean's Cup coordinator, he's been really good, like showing up and like bringing his residents. So. Props to him.
Props to Chong.
Yeah. Okay, so we've kind of established our link to St. Mike's. Very interesting. But this is a TTC episode.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, have you guys ever had like a weird like TTC experience? Like, have there been like weird delays, or you realize like, oh, I have to take a shuttle bus, and like the shuttle bus like takes you in this really weird like detour like route or anything? I don't know. What have you guys been? I have a story. If you guys, if I can start. And this has nothing to do with me, but it's a story that I heard. So one of the lines, there's been a lot of changes to the TTC, and I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do an episode like this, because it's kind of relevant. And I don't know if it was line 5, but it was one of the LRTs. And Historic, like, again, shout out to Historic, a group of them went to the opening of one of the new lines.
Oh my god!
But it wasn't,
I saw this.
Yeah. And they're actually famous. But it wasn't the official opening. It was like the smaller opening, like that was before the big opening day. Which I'm like, okay. So this is dedication. Like they went. I can't. There's a clip. The news interviewed them, like insane. There was a clip on that was circulating, and apparently they had, they had slept over that night, like waiting for it to
Damn.
open.
Yeah, dedication.
Yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
you would think, oh, that's something that people would do to concerts. I think like maybe like Taylor Swift kind of level. They were like, no, we're gonna put that energy towards the opening
Into
of
the
this
TTC. Yeah.
And I think they explained it really well. One of them said that as a Torontonian, they've heard of this line that was gonna become a thing, and the fact that they get to see it come into fruition like after so many years is kind of incredible. So, and they also, I think they did it for the bit, but yeah. So they slept overnight, and then they got on, and I think this might be a second story, but when they were on either the same group or literally with two or people different, they were on one of the opening lines, and the train car, or I don't know, but the people, the TTC people were giving out tokens, which is pretty cool, memorabilia for being on the first ride.
Nice.
And this group was like on it, and they were giving tokens at each stop.
Okay.
Oh.
But the
okay.
line was
okay.
so slow that there were people that got off, walked to the next station, got there before them, and got the last tokens.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness. Wow.
Even though they were there before them and were riding it for longer.
Thievery.
Yeah.
You know what? That I have an anecdote about this anecdote.
Okay.
Which is that I was scrolling on Twitter the day of, I guess it was the Crosstown opening, the Eglinton Line 6, I think.
Line 6, yeah.
And
probably.
I was seeing a lot of stuff on my Twitter about the TTC, obviously, because that's my world. And
Yes.
then I was like, that is a photo of Angus.
Yes!
I literally was like, not like jump scare, because I love Angus, but I was like, I have not seen his face in a very long time, and now he's just
Oh my
on my
gosh.
timeline.
Yeah.
So I went to everyone in the room, and I was like, this was basically my student, because
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think Angus ever lived in 6 and 8, but he was in 2 and 96. I almost
Yes.
almost forgot there.
That's
but,
where I live right now.
Oh,
So.
lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
Beauty. So I was very pleased to see them doing that. I know that Angus and a group of them were visiting every station.
Yes.
Which is a very Toronto thing to do.
Yeah.
To like be part of the club that's visited every station, which is now.
Is there a name of this club?
There was at the time when there was like a certain number of stations for a long time. I don't remember the number. I think it was like when there were 96 stations or something like that.
296. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's
the symbolism.
Coincidences. Yeah, they're
It's
right
crazy.
there. So yeah, people would be like part of the 96 club or whatever the number
Oh,
was at the
cute.
time if you
Yeah.
visited every station. So I really appreciated their dedication to doing that. The other thing too with the openings for both the Finch West LRT and the Crosstown were so chaotic, I think, is essentially how it went down. There were people that were queuing overnight, sleeping there overnight, forming
Yeah.
a line.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the station opened, whether it was, maybe Kennedy or maybe other major stations on the line, when the time came that the doors opened, people just crowded in, and people that had just showed up
Oh my
got
gosh.
in before the people that had been waiting overnight. Yeah.
No.
Which was pretty bad. There's some TTC enthusiast folks that I follow, an account called Old TTC ran by a guy named Bradley. He's lovely. He's a Metrolinx operator, but he's a big TTC fan. And he and I think his husband, they were both there, and they lined up, queued, did the whole thing, and didn't get the commemorative tokens.
They didn't get the tokens.
That was for the opening of Finch West. So
Yeah.
I think the TTC reached out to them after and like gave them like
That's so sweet.
a swag bag of like all the stuff they missed. So yeah, not greatly organized openings, but they did make up for it in a few ways.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So how did the TTC people know that they didn't get like the tokens? Did they post something about it?
I think, yeah, because that account, Old TTC, and then his husband's account, I think it's called Next Stop Short Turn. They're two like big TTC accounts in the world of TTC accounts.
They're pretty big.
Yeah, I think they posted about, like just their experience, like what had happened. And then the TTC, I think, is aware of them. They've reached
They're like,
TTC celebrity
oh.
status.
Right.
So,
They're like, our
yeah.
legends. I'm so sorry.
Yes. And Brad's husband, whose name is escaping me, he's a TTC operator. He's like a streetcar
Okay, so
operator.
the connections.
Yeah, so I think maybe he had like an insider.
He was able to go to his
access.
boss and be like, hey.
Yes, be like, give me the tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Fair.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So yeah, I would say that is a really cool story that like Angus just showed up on your phone.
Yeah, love him. Yeah.
Amazing. What a like happy surprise. Zach, to you, have you had a crazy experience? If not, I'm gonna actually give you a different question.
Okay.
Have you ridden another type of subway from a different province or country? And like, how does it compare to Toronto?
I actually have. I've been to 2 different places.
Okay.
One was when I went to San Francisco.
San Fran.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had an interesting line, I think. It definitely felt older. And the subway carts were definitely smaller. Like, you would feel more cramped in the subway carts.
But still, like, a lot of people? Like the same?
Not really, actually.
Okay.
But it was actually very scary, I can't lie. I had a very scary experience there.
Oh, no.
There was a guy, there was just this guy, I don't know if he was, like, drunk or something. And he just had this stick. And he got on the cart, and he was just, like, waving it at people.
Oh my gosh. Was
Yeah,
the stick pointy or was it blunt? Like, I'm like, how weapony are we talking?
It was a very oddly straight, like, wood stick or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was
Interesting.
just like waving it around at people.
Oh no.
Honestly, very scary. I was there with my mom, right? And yeah, we kind of just like got off as soon as we saw that guy come on.
Fair.
Yeah. They actually do it differently, because you know how in here our carts are basically well, line 2 it's different, but for line 1, like, you can walk from one end of the subway to the other,
Yeah, it's
right?
like a caterpillar.
Continuous. Yeah. We call that articulated in the business.
Wow.
We got the term here.
Now we
got
have
the professional term.
we're building up a vocabulary. This is cool.
Yeah.
So they've got the articulated ones in line 1. Yeah.
Nice.
They have like articulated buses now.
Yes.
Don't they?
Yeah.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means that there's like a spot in the vehicle that can be articulated or can bend. So like way back there used to be articulated streetcars called like ALRVs, articulated light rail vehicle.
Oh my god.
Those were like the previous streetcars before the ones we have now, because obviously the ones that I call new ones, even though they've been around for like a decade, they're the same as line 1, where they're just continuous. But before that, when the streetcars were like actually looking like streetcars and trolleys, there was the CLRV, the Canadian light rail vehicle, which was just a regular one-shot streetcar. And then the articulated ones were like 2 sections that had like the bendy bit in the middle.
Long. Does it help with like turning?
I think, yeah, like it means that the vehicle can turn, but it means that the vehicle can be longer.
Yes, to fit more people.
Yeah, so there's articulated buses as well.
Yes, we have those in Montreal.
Yes, yeah.
The accordion thing.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
the
what
accordion
thing.
Yeah.
That's a good way to visualize.
Yeah, so where was I? Right. So the line 1 has the articulated bits.
Yes.
But the line 2 has like individual cabins, right?
Yeah, which is like pros and cons for safety.
Right. And that was what they had in San Fran.
Oh,
like,
okay.
They had the cabins.
Yeah.
So that was really scary, because, you know, like, okay, I don't know, you guys the listeners can't really see the room we're in right now, but the cabin is basically like pretty much maybe a little bit more to like the end of that room.
Okay, so for context, we're in Brennan 115A right now recording, and so it's like the width of Brennan 115A and then a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like a little bit more. Yeah. And then imagine if the guy like came in from like, you know, the door's like right outside there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like sitting right here. And he's waving a stick around.
Oh yeah, so like you're
I'm getting
close
the
enough.
heck out of there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an interesting experience. You know, because San Fran's really they've got a lot of mountain areas, right? They're very steep. So they have like their subway stations have like 3 escalators that go up.
Oh my gosh.
Like I remember specifically, it was like near the Chinatown station. And we got off the subway and we were like, okay, so let's go up. I dead ass had like 5 minutes of escalator time trying to get from the subway station to the surface.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was super tall.
That's like the new LRT station for Eglinton, like Eglinton Station, where it connects to the crosstown. Apparently there's this exit at Avenue Road I think that's what it's called. And there's no escalators. It's like all stairs, and there's
So
like
accessible.
there's signs that say like beware that you will be climbing up like 9 flights of stairs or something.
No.
Which
Is there an elevator?
There's other exits, but
Okay.
at that particular exit,
So
I
if
think
you just
it's
hate
just
yourself,
stairs.
you just do that one.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
but
stairs.
that's in London. This is me jumping ahead,
Okay.
so apologies. But
It's
in
okay.
London on the tube, the underground,
Yeah.
there was a station that I was at when I was in London a few years ago where it was the same thing. Like it had a sign that said like beware. It was much worse. I think it was something like this is like 2,000 steps. Like know before you
Damn.
start trying to walk up these steps.
Oh my
that
gosh.
You'll be
yeah,
there for a while.
there's no shame in quitting.
Yes,
You can
no
back
shame
out.
in quitting. But
Yeah.
yeah, San Fran I'm sure has a lot of that with like the
Yeah.
valleys and
They should
other
have like a
things.
slide on the side for the quitters.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I
They're
need to
like-
go on this escalator.
Exactly. Or like an
Um,
elevator. Or like I guess you have to take a different entrance, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like to put it into like context for people, I think. I don't know how many people know Bazarian Station.
Oh, Bazarian.
Wait,
Yeah.
are we talking about San Fran? Or
No, this is on the purple line, line 4
Yeah.
of Toronto.
of Toronto.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is line 4 a new thing or is always
It's
a
been
thing?
in there for a while.
2002 was when it opened.
Okay, so like
Yeah.
newish.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
newish.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in like, I mean, I would say it's in Scarborough. I guess I'm not sure if
No,
that's
it's technically North York.
North York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So I don't. If anyone who knows Bazarian Station, they like when you when you enter it, there's like that long, really long flight of stairs going down.
Yes.
Imagine that, but like 4 times.
a very like niche reference.
Yeah,
but
very
those
niche
who
reference.
know
but
will know.
if
Yeah.
you know, you know.
Those Bazarian heads out there.
Everyone's yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone who knows just gonna be like, I need to sit down. This is
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
But yeah,
Fair.
and then that was San Fran, so that was very interesting. And then the
Yeah.
other subway I've been to is in China.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Very
and that
cool.
was honestly really impressive because the city I'm from, they didn't have a subway system like before I was in high school.
Interesting.
And then COVID happened.
Oh,
So
yeah?
I was never able to go back. And then once I was able to go back, they had like 18 lines.
Whoa.
Like unironically, like 18 lines.
Yeah, Toronto could never.
no. Like how long did it take us to get line 5 and 6? Like
I mean, people say
decades.
that the cross time was like about 15 years.
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
so could
You
never.
know, fun fact: the Eglinton line has been under construction for longer than I've been a Canadian citizen.
Insane.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
But China was able to like
dude,
put
they
18
they
lines
turned
out.
out 18 lines in like 4 years,
That's insane.
and it was so much more impressive because like 4 of those lines
Yeah.
they go under the Yangtze River.
Whoa. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Like they, you know, I don't know if anyone
my
knows those like
gosh.
huge hole boring machines.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they had like 4 of those run under the Yangtze River, like 60 meters under the like riverbed,
Whoa.
and they have a subway line, and right on top of it,
Yeah.
and like through the same hole
Yeah.
is like the road that the cars go through, like under the river to pass it.
So wait, it's underneath the road, under the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah.
It's actually
like
super cool.
sandwiched.
It's super cool.
Oh my gosh.
And so yeah, they have that.
Okay.
I feel like I think they're like a little less tall. I don't know. But I don't know. They might just have like different specifications for dimensions. And then I think what I really liked is they have glass panes like along the sides.
Interesting.
So like the glass pane doors only open when the subway comes in. So like that way you don't get the dangers of like anyone falling over by accident.
I was gonna
right?
say
right.
the water as well.
That too.
Where, like you don't want to open it while you're
Yeah.
underwater. So is glass pane? So if you're going under the river.
Oh no, not like the subway
Oh,
itself, like
okay,
in the
okay.
station.
At the
in the
Oh, I
station.
understand. So
Yeah.
not the subway, but like yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
like-
There's extra safety.
Yeah.
For people to not go over the
Yeah,
tracks.
yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the
No,
subway
no,
cars
no, no,
themselves
no, not the subway
were
itself.
all glass, and then the doors themselves were also glass, and then and I
No,
was like,
no, that would be
wow,
insane. That would actually be crazy.
The visibility is crazy. Okay, no, that makes sense.
No, yeah.
That's really good.
Uh-huh.
I think I've seen clips of that too, like with the glass
With-
doors
yeah.
and stuff.
I think that's a great
Yeah.
safety.
Do you think
Yeah.
we should implement that?
That's a really big debate in Toronto right now.
Yeah.
about what should there be platform edge doors.
Yeah.
My Nana, the other day, I was passing her in the kitchen because I have the great experience of living with my grandparents right now. I'm
same.
I'm absolutely serene. Yeah. So living my best life in Scarborough, living with my grandparents, and my Nana, who reads the Star every day, was reading an article about edge doors, and she was asking me about them. So I was like, edge doors are on the rise, people. My Nana is asking me about them. This is how popular they're getting. But it's this ever-present debate with the TTC of where should the money go? Should it be in platform edge doors? How badly do people think we need them? What I told my Nana when she asked me about them was people, I think, have this big concern about the cost of edge doors, and you could say, could you put that costs into more like crisis services in the TTC that would mean that you don't have to introduce more infrastructure projects. I think it's debatable. I actually don't really have a strong opinion, I guess, on edge doors. But I think that what could be done is do like a pilot project to put them in at some stations.
And see what happens.
Yeah, stations that have like recorded, higher rates of incidents and see how that goes and see how people react to them. So
true.
It's a work in progress, but I do think that they'll come to Toronto eventually.
Eventually?
I think it's inevitable that.
But like on the Toronto timeline, like that could be.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
20 years in the future.
Yeah, we're gonna be in a different decade of our lives.
Yes,
but
it is something that Jamal Myers, who's the current TTC chair, he's talked about that.
Okay.
So if he has anything to say about it, I think that they might happen, but.
Exciting.
It's that budget. It's always the budget.
Yeah, it's always a money thing. Well, if ever when they do it, it was referenced in this podcast first, guys.
Yes.
So,
you heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
We should trademark it.
Exactly.
We can call them like the SMC platform edge doors officially.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That would be so cool. That would be amazing. In Montreal, I was like, because I don't really live downtown, so I don't really use the subway, but I've used it a couple of times. I think I've used the TTC a lot more, but I do want to say I like the Toronto buses more than the Montreal buses, for sure. Okay, can I explain something to you guys? Let me know if this is like weirdly like outrageous. Like weirdly doesn't need to be this way. So what's great about the Toronto TTC, I think it's very accessible in terms of tickets. Like you can have a Presto card. There's Presto machines everywhere. You can use your cards as well. You can just tap and you can go. Who uses coins? So on it's called STM, our TTC version of Montreal, and the buses. You can't tap any debit or credit cards. You have to get Opus cards, but the Opus cards aren't like it's so freaking expensive, and you can't like the way that you put money on it is like in like sections. Like you can't put like it's so stupid. Like the student fare, I think it's like $50 to $100.
My goodness.
For like unlimited for the month. I don't know. It's like a ridiculous amount, or you have to use coins. And like to get an Opus card, you have to register it with like you have to go to like in Montreal we say Pharmaprix but Shoppers, and you get like your photo on it, and you have to like register it's like a whole process to get a freaking Opus card, and they expire, so you have to get them.
You have to do it all again.
No, you have to like I don't know, because it's so annoying and so a lot of work that schools usually have like this automated process.
Facilitate it,
Yeah, so when I was in CJEP, there was a button on what's it called when you have like it's not a platform, it's a website for
like a portal.
A portal,
yes,
yeah.
Okay.
On our student portal, there was a button to like renew, and then it would just ship it to you.
Nice.
But you have to remember it.
You have to have that in too.
Yeah, your Opus then expires, and then what do you gotta do? You gotta use freaking coins.
That's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Wait,
and
so
then
how often does it expire?
every year.
What?
Every year.
Dude,
I have my Opus card here, dude. It's ridiculous. Let me show you for reference. I have my freaking face on it.
Wow.
My
the
name.
whole ID.
It's a whole ID.
It looks like a credit card with like a chip.
It does. And so mine expired obviously the year that I came to Toronto, so 2023. And I think you use your Opus card because it has your face on it as your T card basically adjacent for when you have exams and stuff.
Interesting.
Wow.
I think, unless I'm forgetting that we had. No, wait, I'm forgetting. It's been so long since high school. I think we had an actual student ID in high school.
I love that you still carry it though.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
what
beautiful.
if I need it but it's expired?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there was money on here, but then you lose the money, so it's also
Oh.
so stupid. Yeah, and when it expires, the system is like, why am I using coins in this day and age? I'm sorry, as the only option if I'm not
Yeah.
a student in Montreal to use the bus.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that was what was an issue in the TTC, I feel like, for a long
Yeah.
time. After Presto was introduced,
Yeah.
then like tokens and tickets start being like a little more obscure. You could go to Shoppers maybe and they might have some, but the issue is having coins. If like tourists come, they're not
Yeah.
going to have coins.
What are they gonna do?
So it was, so I think definitely that the system they have now, it took them long enough. I think this was like pretty standard on most other transit systems for a long time.
Yeah.
But of course, in Toronto, we get this like something that's been state of the art for a while, and we're like,
Yeah.
whoa, like
Mind blowing.
mind blowing. Yeah,
The
yeah,
future is, like,
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Insane. Okay, so we're gonna segue into this episode. So this was the introduction. It was a bit long, but I feel like we've learned so much from different perspectives, and we had a chance for you guys to introduce yourselves. So I just want to say, welcome to the pod, Logan and Zach. Welcome to bonus episode 1. Like, thank you so much.
We're
for
so
being
happy
here.
to
Thank
be
you for
here.
having me.
Happy that you guys are here. Okay, so today, as listeners can pick up, we are doing a TTC themed episode. This is, as I said before, kind of relevant because lots of changes to the TTC have been made. We got 2 new lines. We got line 5 and line 6. Line 5 was Eglinton, right?
Line 5 is
Am I
line
wrong?
6 is Eglinton. You're
line
right.
6 is Eglinton. Is line 5
The Finch West
Finch
LRT.
West?
Maybe I have it backwards.
I think
I don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure it's line 5 is the Eglinton.
I
line
think
5 is
so. I wrote this
Eglinton.
down.
Line
Are
6.
you really an
I did
expert
research.
here?
You're like making me question.
No,
like I'm looking at
I
my
know
script.
this because there was a brief period where Toronto had line 1, line 2, no line 3 because that was
Yes.
closed.
Mhm.
It had line 4,
Yeah.
no line 5 because
Yeah.
it didn't open yet,
Yeah.
and line 6.
Yeah, it was
so it was a
weird.
weird gap for a while.
Yeah.
But yes, so you're
Line
right.
6.
You're
Okay,
right.
so yeah, to reiterate, line 5 Eglinton and line 6 Finch West. Are they both LRT?
Yes.
Which
yeah.
means light rail transit?
Yeah,
Or-
LRT, light rail transit. Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean?
Light rail is compared to heavy rail. So like
Wow.
I
Whoa.
wouldn't but like that's the idea is that like we say light rail but you would never there's no like HRT, you know.
Yeah.
HRT means something different.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't think a subway this is something I feel like I should know. I don't think a subway would be classified as heavy rail. I
Okay.
think something more like a GO train is heavy rail.
Okay, so this is
But-
more like the streetcar stuff
Yes, yeah,
that we're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what the light rail is. There was the Scarborough RT. I guess it's not a light rail. I called it a monorail because I guess like
Nice.
that is another way to put it. But yeah, there was the SRT as well before that, which was Scarborough Rapid Transit.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So many names. So many acronyms. They all kind of sound the
Yeah.
same. Okay, cool. So not only did we get these additions, but the names of stations on the TTC have also been changed. Like, for example, we got from Eglinton West Station turned into Cedarvale Station,
Yes.
which
Yep.
people have a lot of qualms with, like my grandfather. And then we have Dundas Station changed to TMU Station, which is interesting. And didn't Downsview Station turn into Shepherd West?
I was looking this up earlier.
Or am I
Downsview
crazy?
Park now.
Yeah.
Is it Downsview Park?
There's
Yeah.
Downsview Park and then a different. Gotta get the laptop out for this.
Oh
one.
yeah,
Shepherd
okay,
West
sorry.
is
We're
fine. You know,
pause for
fun fact,
research.
I'm pretty sure I can name every single station on line 1.
Okay, we're doing this. Hold on. I'm gonna get a picture. Line 1 TTC.
I was actually thinking about this morning as I was on my way. I'm like, can I
You were
still
like
do-
rehearsing, like, can I still do it?
Yeah, no, because I used to do it when like there was no signal like on the subway. And I
Oh,
was really
yeah.
bored, so I was like, what if I just like
Yes.
memorize this?
As you,
For
that's
fun.
That's good information to have. Okay, go.
Okay, we're gonna start from Finch. All right.
Okay.
I go Finch, Northwark Center, Shepherd Young,
Yep.
York Mills,
Yep.
Lawrence, Eglinton. Okay, that's uptown down. We're going to Midtown. Midtown starts with Davisville, St. Clair, Summerhill, and then Rosedale. Okay, and then now we're downtown. So we have Bloor Young, Wellesley, College, Dundas. I still call it Dundas.
I was also looking at the old map and I'm like,
Yeah.
Dundas, yep. No, fair.
Queen, King, Union. And then we're going back up. We have St. Andrew,
Yeah.
Osgood, St. Patrick, Queen's Park, and then Museum, and then St. George. Okay, now we're going back into Midtown. We have DuPont. No, Spadina.
Okay.
And then DuPont. Spadina and then DuPont.
It's okay.
And then we have St. Clair West.
Yeah.
St. Clair West goes into what's now Cedarvale,
Yes.
right? And then Cedarvale goes up. Oh my God. It's Glencairn, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Glencairn, and then goes into Lawrence West.
Yeah.
Lawrence West goes into. Oh my God. It's Yorkdale, right?
Yeah,
Yorkdale, Wilson, Shepherd West.
Oh my gosh.
And then Shepherd West goes up into Downsview Park. Downsview Park goes up into Finch West.
Oh my
and then you
goodness.
have York U.
Yeah.
York U. Oh God. It's Pioneer. Is it Pioneer Park?
No, you're so
fuck.
close.
It's something. Oh man.
You're going like off the map. I had to choose a different map. I was like, where are you going?
Downsview Park. Oh God, I forgot what it's called. It's
You-
Pioneer something.
Yes.
Pioneer's close enough.
Yeah, honestly, that's insane.
And then that goes into Highway 407,
Yes.
and then it's VMC.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
Pioneer Village.
Pioneer Village.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
But you know what? Bonus points for even wanting to do this. This is
That's
insane.
yeah, that's so impressive.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So for fun, you were just like, let me memorize.
Dude, this was when I was in like grade 9 or 10 or something. And this was
Wow.
like this was back when like you didn't have signal at all when you're on the subway.
Yeah.
I was super bored. I was like, you know what? What if I just like memorize this for fun?
Wilds.
Yeah.
That's insane. Logan, you have your laptop out.
Yes, I do. I think you were right that Downsview Station became Shepherd West Station.
I
That
think
was in
so.
2017.
Okay.
Really?
Which was to avoid confusion with Downsview Park, which
Right.
was coming at that time. Yeah, when they were doing that extension.
Okay.
Which fun fact about Downsview? This is a fun fact alert.
oh my god. Oh
Fun
my
fact
god.
alert.
Okay.
Downsview Station used to be, as I understand, the end of Line 1 at that point, or like whichever line that was. So the TTC very briefly had this project of interlining, which meant that the subway cars, instead of just riding one line, being like the line 1 car goes from each end of line 1 and it goes back and forth all day, they did this thing where line 1 cars would go and then they would loop around in some way and turn into line 2 cars. And then they would go
Oh.
along line 2 and then they would like loop back, and different cars would have different destinations,
Oh,
which is the way that like some other more complex systems do it in other parts of the world, where you'd be waiting at one platform and it'd say like the next train is going to like the terminal station, but the train after that is going to a whole different station, and they're doing
Right.
interlining. So there are still signs up, like little signs that come out of the ceiling at some TTC stations that will often say next train Downsview, because there was a flipping sign inside
gosh.
sign
Ah.
that would flip to show you what the actual terminal station of the next train would be.
Whoa.
And so Downsview used to be one of these stations where a train might end up going. And that was a very short-lived project, but these signs are still up like all around. You'll see them if you look for them.
Oh
You'll
my
find
gosh.
them around the TTC, and they say next train going to Downsview, which doesn't even exist anymore. So not only does interlining not exist, but Downsview as a station called Downsview also is a thing of the past. And that's what my research is all about. So
Really?
yeah, so my research is not about those signs in particular, but the title of my thesis, it's actually a major research project, but it's like 120 pages. So
my
let's just call it a
goodness.
thesis.
Yes.
The title is Material Traces of the Past and Subway Station as Place in Toronto.
Wow.
So it's that material trace of the past, seeing a bit of the past still represented in the transit landscape, which is something that I know a lot about. So fun fact, excessive fun
crazy.
fact over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I
cool.
have a question. So with interlining, the train cars themselves are different from line 1 and line 2. So are you saying that like in this theory you would have line 1 cars
At that
going
time, they were all the
into-
same.
They were all the same. Were
trains,
they
yeah.
were they the articulated ones or were they the other ones?
They were, I think at that time, I really should know exactly when interlining was happening, but they would have been, I think, Gloucester cars,
Which
which
is
are
what?
the original TTC cars. They were like, The original Gloucester cars were like bright red,
Nice.
which is lovely. That's
Yeah.
that's another. See, I could talk about my research further. But that's another part of my specific research studies subway tiles and like the composition of subway
Okay.
tiles.
Yeah.
So the subway tiles, the color palettes were chosen to complement the bright red
The
Gloucester
red.
cars,
Okay.
which the Gloucester cars obviously don't
anymore.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
So that's another material trace of the past, as I say. But
Yeah.
I think they would have either been Gloucester cars, which were the original cars looking very similar to the cars that you have on line 1 now, like essentially the same sort of like metal design, separate cars.
Yeah.
Or they would have been cars, I think they were called H1s after that.
Ooh, interesting.
Which were, to me, I'm not a big like train nerd. There's definitely people who are TTC enthusiasts who are very into the trains, like
In
very,
that niche,
very into
yeah.
the trains. There's an excellent book called The Original G Trains, or The Original Red Rockets, the story of the
I've
G
heard
Trains.
of the Red Rockets
Yes.
through my research. I found that out.
Beauty. Yeah,
heard
that
that
book is
name.
by Robert Lubinsky, who's like definitely someone that's into the trains.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Gloucester cars or H1s, H cars, they were all the same on line 1 and line 2. So they would just like do little U-turns and end up on different lines, and
Wild.
that was short lived.
Oh man, and now we have articulated and we have different kinds of
Yes,
cars. So
yes,
I
different
don't think
kinds
this
of
would work
cars.
anymore.
No, and they are
Unfortunately.
getting new cars for line 2. Olivia Chow has been like,
No way.
we're
Whoa.
getting Canadian-made cars for line 2.
Yes.
To replace the ones that are there now, which like
Okay.
will be a bit sad for people that
yeah,
are very attached
history
to
and,
them.
like, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, but they won't be the same as the line 1 cars.
Okay.
So no interlining. I don't
No
think.
interlining.
But
That's so sad.
Toronto subways do use what's called Toronto gauge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a particular gauge of the track that's only used in Toronto. So
Interesting.
theoretically, if any car that uses Toronto gauge could go on either line. So
Okay.
so we could see. we could
Maybe.
see.
Yeah. I mean, if they did want to revamp the entire TTC, they could.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think we should have those doors on the platform before.
Yes, before we get into anything bigger, we should
One
work
step
on
at a
that
time.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we were talking about renaming stations. So the reason we're talking about this, and I also wanted to add, it's not a new name of a station, but something that I do want to highlight is Dundas Young Square has also received a name change.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's now Syncova Square.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an updated episode of the podcast. We all are aware. So with these new additions, right, we're gonna talk about it later on in the episodes. This is very relevant. This is a foreshadowing, if you will. Yeah, so we have kind of 2 parts to this episode, shaking things up from the usual, since this is a bonus. But don't worry, there is still a ton of creativity, and we will be bringing lore about the TTC and writing literature about the TTC, because this is SMC literature and lore.
Of
But this is
course.
like, I guess, TTC literature and lore for this episode. For the first part of this episode, we're focusing on the lore of the TTC. I have curated a list of trivia, TTC themed,
Oh boy.
that your guys' job is to answer these fun facts, but like wrong answers only.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're gonna
Yeah.
see what happens. I will then give you the right answers, and then we're all gonna be like, "Wow,
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
crazy!" Okay, so we're gonna get into it. Number 1, the TTC once included what as another version of transportation in the 20s, but was unsuccessful and taken away in the 30s.
Oh my goodness.
So
Wow.
yeah, they included what kind of transportation. I will give you kind of like a hint in what the answer that it gave me was. It's like a different kind of vehicle, because we have subway cars,
Yeah.
we have street cars,
Okay.
we have buses. So like
Uh-huh.
that kind of vibe. What do you think that they could have introduced in the 20s?
The boats.
Yeah,
Can
I
you
was gonna
imagine
say
TTC
something
boats?
similar.
Like-
I was like scared this might be the right answer, but maybe not. Those like hippo boats that are like the tourist
Oh my gosh.
boats that are like a car that turns into a boat.
Yes.
That would be beautiful.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
It also seems like a very like early 20th century thing to be
Yeah.
like, we are
We're
the
gonna
people of the
incorporate this.
future. We will have
Yes.
the hippo boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And do you think they could take it then to the airport island?
Yeah.
Probably.
That would be so
Yeah.
helpful, you know?
You know, it's like the subway just turns into the ferry.
Yeah, yeah. That is incorrect. They introduced in the 1920s double-decker buses. Oh my God. Double-decker buses. It was part of the TTC. And then they didn't stick. And then they were taken away in the 30s.
So British of them. Which,
I know, yeah.
They recommissioned them into like the tour. You know those double-decker tour
Do you
Toronto?
think that they kept them around and then recommissioned them for tourism, or is that a different time? Because like they're definitely present now, but the 30s were so long ago that like.
I mean, the TTC does have a historic fleet that is, some of it is housed at the Streetcar Museum, which is outside of Guelph.
Yes.
But I don't think there's a double-decker bus as part of the historic
They
fleet.
should have.
So
They should have
Should've
included
gone
that.
I would think that they've probably all been scrapped. That would be my,
that's so sad.
my guess.
Unfortunate.
Can you imagine if you do find one?
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Send it to Bradley.
Yes, old TTC will be on
tell
that.
Bradley, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to number 2. In 1978, Yorkdale Station had what painted on the roof of the tunnel to create a pulsing image when trains entered the station?
A pulsing
Pulsing
image.
Yeah,
image.
the way that like the train car would go in and it would be it's like a I don't know
Pierre Trudeau.
His giant face you can just see, and it's just like the pilot, not the pilot. Oh my God, the train car driver is like the only one who can see it.
Yes.
That's amazing. That is incorrect. Zach, do you have an answer?
What about on that theme? What about Queen Elizabeth II?
Oh, that's a good one too. It wasn't a famous person's face. It was actually a rainbow. And it's really cool. So it would create this kind of like pulsing, like trippy ass, like kind of like image when they would go in. And it was so beautiful. Unfortunately, due to water damage, it was removed in the 1990s.
That's
Damn.
unfortunate.
You know, Queen Station has something similar, which I never knew. This is something that I came across in my research when I was doing my quote-unquote field work. My research is like archaeology based. It's based on archaeological theory. So while my friends were like going to Peru and going to China and like
Very
doing
cool.
actual field work, I was going around the TTC. But I learned that since the 80s, Queen Station has had like blue and orange stripes on the ceiling, which I never knew, because that's the thing. Like you wouldn't really look up, you know, to see
never
it.
look up.
Interesting.
But it is. So when I was seeing them, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go into the archives and track, like, this must be a new edition. And then I like found archival photos from the 80s and I was like, oh, okay.
It's been here a while. Do
Yeah.
you know what the significance is? Like the blue and orange?
I think it's just for fun. Yeah, I don't know.
Just have color.
I would love to know more about like the rationale behind those
Yeah.
decisions. The great thing about the TTC is that theoretically there should be like TTC meeting minutes or like city hall
literally.
memos deep in the city archives. I did not come across any of that material, but someone out there will.
Someone can.
They'll be in like the TTC archives, alone, just the actual donations from the TTC directly to the city archives. There's about 5,000 boxes
Damn.
of TTC archival material.
Wow.
So somewhere in there, whether it's in there or it could be in like the city hall minutes or like the TTC chair minutes, like could be anywhere, but the answers are out there.
Yeah.
Someone just needs to find
It's
them.
probably definitely recorded somewhere.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, I don't know. Listeners, it's a big ask, but if you could figure out
Yeah.
the significance of the blue and orange stripes, is it in Queen Station?
In Queen Station.
In Queen
yeah.
Station? Please let us know.
Yeah, let
it's
us
a
know.
big ask. I've asked for lesser things in the past, so I understand if you can't. Okay, moving on. Number 3. The TTC planned on abandoning what in the 1970s? So what was a part of the 1970s? What was a part of the TTC that was then, they were like, we should stop that in the 70s?
I'm scared the real answer is streetcars.
Okay, so that's your answer.
That's what I was gonna say. Actually.
That was your answer?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Mhm.
So the TTC streetcar abandonment policy,
Mhm.
which is such a sad name, was created to remove all streetcars in the 70s and 80s, but was halted.
Mhm.
So my follow-up question is, do you guys think they should have gone through with that?
I think absolutely not.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah, I think that there is a great book. I'm forgetting the title of it. It's by like a father and son. I think their last names are like Duchat or something. But
Aw,
they
that's
wrote this book about streetcars and about like the Toronto streetcars, about like the attachment that people have to them. I think like
Okay.
that's something that plays into my research as well, is like the force of nostalgia that sort of impacts the TTC.
Yeah.
Because the thought then, I think especially in the 70s when, you know, people were trying to think like very like new age about the way that the subway system was going to be, was thinking, are the streetcars like efficient? Are they worth operating? While many other cities like all over North America and Europe as well were getting rid of their streetcars even before that, sort of like post-war.
Yeah.
Toronto was being like, are we riding this wave of getting rid of our streetcars? And I think in the long run, people generally, I think, are glad that they were kept, because now you look at North America and it's like San Francisco and Toronto, and I don't really know any other places that have kept their streetcars.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's definitely Toronto's big thing. You'll see like streetcar art everywhere in the city. It's like a badge of honor, I think, that we still have the streetcars, especially the old streetcars, like those CLRVs, ALRVs that have like the classic trolley look.
Yes.
Are much, much beloved. So I think
brings in the tourism, low-key.
it was good, I think, to keep them. The issue, though, is that they need to be like run efficiently. So things like having like signal priority, there's other like you know, more urban planning ways to make streetcars more efficient, or like have them,
and not just an aesthetic,
exactly, work to their full potential instead of just being fun.
Yeah.
They could be a lot better, but I hope that we keep them. But I do also question, I'm like, is this just like a nostalgia thing, I'm attached to them or whatever, or is it like, you know,
your
but
internal
then
bias.
Like, what is a city if not a collection of
That's
you know,
true.
people's deep feelings
and
about
a lot
a place?
of people, I feel like, are struggling with the identity of it being a Torontonian in itself as well, because we're so multicultural. And so I guess having tied to like a technological industrial kind of also identity, especially tied to the history, it's helpful.
Yeah, but that's
I see
just
where
my
you're coming
perspective.
from. I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. Zach, do you have anything to add?
I think, okay, it's actually a funny thing. I've noticed a pattern where everyone, like, regarding the removing the streetcars thing, everyone from Toronto that I know has said keep them, and everyone that's not from Toronto has said remove them.
See, guys, I'm actually, I don't know if I'm actually from Toronto at this point, because I say don't keep them. Just because.
Yeah, because you're technically from Montreal. Exactly. That's like that's the pattern I've noticed. Like, my thing is like I like them. They're just really bad at doing their job sometimes.
Yes, but maybe they have this potential.
Yeah, like if you actually made them do their job properly, they're good.
Right.
But then like if you can't, then like, to quote someone, they're like, just remove them and add in a bike lane. Like
okay. I feel like that's a whole other topic that we don't have time for with these bike lanes. But fair. Is it more work to take out the streetcars and then do other stuff, or is it more work to keep the streetcars but then adapt the city around the streetcars? Who knows? People have jobs that their job is to think about that. Yeah, our job is just to yap about this. Okay, so moving on to number 4. In the 1960s, a special train was brought over from a Japanese train manufacturer and transformed for what purpose?
I know this, so I'm gonna
answers only.
I'm gonna let Zach answer first.
Okay.
So why do you think we had a special train?
They took a special train from
and like
Japan.
for like it's really cute, but like in terms of, I kind of want to focus on what purpose. So why do you think we would have a train specifically for a specific separate purpose than for transporting people?
It was a party train.
Oh my god!
Rave
Can you
train?
imagine
Rave
like a limo
train.
version?
No,
or like
this is wrong answers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Wrong answers only. So like, you know those buses that like are party buses?
Yes.
Where they have
Yeah.
like the stripper pole and like they have like a disco ball and shit.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a party
That'd be
train
epic.
that you
Yeah.
could rent out?
Sometimes I think Lower Bay Station, which is like the defunct station below what we know as Bay,
Yes.
has raves. You'll see ads on Instagram.
Yes,
I've heard about that actually. Yeah.
So
Never
this could
been.
be that.
This could be a rave train.
Yeah, rave train.
That's
They
insane.
were big on parties back then.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Imagine
good
like
one.
the crazy like coked up 60s parties that
Oh
they
my
have
God.
in the rave train. That
You
would
have
be
a rave
crazy.
train going
Yeah.
across
Oh my God.
Toronto, and then
Yeah.
like whenever someone's sober enough, they're like, "Stop! All right, we're gonna get off here."
Yeah, it's perfect.
I don't know. Maybe it was just like a, like Riverside tour train. You know?
Ooh, yeah, by the water,
Yeah.
like a tourism kind of tour.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I so both are incorrect. It was actually a moving trash can.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the train was named Tokyo Rose. It had that's what his nickname. Its nickname
Mm-hmm.
was that. It had circular windows and was used to collect trash from the Young University Spadina and Bloor Danforth lines.
Oh.
However, Tokyo Rose was retired when a fire occurred in Old Mill Station in 2000.
Oh.
I had a
Yes.
photo of Tokyo Rose up in
No
the
way.
residence in
You
6 and 8. Yeah.
did?
There was
Damn.
a short-lived project that I had in 6 and 8 where I put up like archival and like historic photos of the TTC
Yeah.
and put like a little caption, like a little museum.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have tape strong enough to keep those photos up for a long time.
Fair.
So it didn't stay up for super long, but I did have a photo of Tokyo Rose, and I had
Wow.
a
Shout
little
out.
label showing.
That's
yeah,
so cute.
Tokyo Rose was a trash train.
A trash train.
yeah.
It's so cute. Yeah. So crazy fun fact.
Mhm.
No, wild. But you know what?
That's actually
A rave train is a really good idea.
Yeah.
I think they need to get on that.
They
They
should
should
get
do
on
that.
that.
That's
yeah.
actually crazy. Okay. In the 60s and the 70s, the TTC used to offer what kind of tour that lasted 2 hours? So they had a tour going on that lasted 2 hours in the 60s and 70s. They don't do it anymore. I feel like they should bring it back though.
What if it's like they tour? You know you know how they have like a walkable platform through the tunnel? Yeah, like what if they just like toured that? You know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
That'd be
that
cool.
could be good. They do like backrooms tours
Exactly.
of like random little spots in the TTC.
I feel like nowadays, like especially with the backgrounds, that would hit so hard. That they actually, it was so different a vibe. Was they used to offer Christmas light tours. They toured the city's Christmas lights.
That's so
Oh.
cute.
yeah, they had like hot spots that they would meet, and it was a 2-hour tour. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing. I would love that. I love touring.
They should do
all
that.
the
I feel like
lights.
the TTC definitely tries to work within their means to do like entertainment-y things. There was like they had like a Christmas streetcar or something that was like all wrapped in like crazy like Christmas decals
Yes.
and like holiday decals, and they were like
So cool.
come find the streetcar, come like look out for it. So yeah,
TTC scavenger hunt.
yeah. So they could bring that back. That would be good.
That'd be
Very
good.
cool.
I feel
Yeah.
like it'd be well received.
There was also previously some historic, I guess it was maybe buses rather than streetcars, or some streetcars, would be used as purely as like tourism buses, like
Cool.
to do tourism tours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like running on like a tourism loop instead of like the regular line. I had a photo of that also
Yeah.
into a 96. That was like in the 80s, I think they did that.
Nice. And now they don't do that. But now we have the double-deckered buses tours. We still have tour
Yes.
stuff
Yeah.
going around,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not the buses themselves. Unfortunate. Okay, so this one, I feel like a variety of answers can be, but I'm looking. There's one right answer based on the research. Okay.
Okay.
In the 80s, Toronto tried to ban what on transit?
Food.
That's your answer, Logan.
I think in the 80s, Toronto tried to ban dancing on transit. This is a
Like
Footloose.
Footloose.
This is a Footloose situation.
Oh my gosh, can you
Yeah.
imagine? Yeah, emphasis on tried. Like,
Yeah.
how could they? Oh my gosh. Brilliant answers. Zach was actually right.
Oh.
Food and drink. The Ontario Municipal Board quashed the move after a diabetic rider fought back. Because obviously,
You know they actually do that in China. Like you're
Oh,
not
really?
allowed to have food and drink on the subway.
yeah.
It's a
I
cleanliness
get
thing.
that,
They do
yeah.
it, yeah.
But then also, like, if people need, some,
Yeah, like
some stuff,
that's what I'm saying.
it can get.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know
yeah.
what? I low-key love eating food on the TTC.
I love it too.
Like, just, it's sort of like you're in a weird situation. You're like, I have
Yeah.
no table.
Yeah.
I have no
Just gotta make it
nothing.
work.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to eat a beef patty that you got
Yeah.
from the station on the train and question, like,
That's so valid.
I have been touching the subway pole. Am I going to
Yes.
get, like,
The
some
risks.
terrible disease?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you need to be at, it's the weird, you're going from A to B and you gotta be at B and you can't be eating at your destination.
Yeah, you
the
just
only
gotta
time
eat
you
on the
gotta
train.
eat is on the train.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it works out. But yeah, very interesting. Okay, according to a Twitter poll by Now, which is a newspaper, a news thing, 57% of respondents have witnessed someone doing what?
dancing on the
TTC.
TTC. Yeah. Because they didn't ban it.
Because
yeah.
they didn't ban it. Only 57 though? Wouldn't it be higher?
It's definitely
Well-
sleeping, bro. It's definitely sleeping.
Ooh, it could be sleeping.
I sleep so
Again,
much on
wouldn't
the TTC.
it be higher than 57 though?
Saw someone sleeping on the TTC today on
There
my
you
way
go.
here.
There you go.
I feel like maybe the real answer is like doing drugs.
You're not gonna guess the real answer. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that at all. The real answer is clipping their nails.
Clipping their nails.
Oh, ew.
Goodness. I feel like
Yeah.
it's 57%.
57.
Is low-key a high.
That's a high number.
A high
Really
proportion
crazy.
of people.
What if it's just one guy that
It's-
always does
It's
it?
just one guy.
consistent? Like,
And everyone's seeing it.
It's like the guy that walks around Toronto. I don't know if you've seen this.
Oh, I've
wearing-
seen the guy with the sign.
I've seen the guy that he wears like big rubber boots, and then he wears a shirt that says "I hate rubber boots."
no.
Really?
He
Oh my
he spends a lot
God.
of time like walking around the TMU campus.
That's fine.
So it's just this one guy who's clipping his nails, not the rubber
Yeah.
boots
Yeah.
guy,
No,
but
no,
a
no,
different
yeah,
guy. Yeah,
I
clipping
feel like
his nails.
50% of people have seen the guy with the rubber boots too.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. Which wearable items are strictly prohibited on TTC property?
Strictly prohibited.
Yeah.
Wearable items.
Wearable, like loosely.
Loosely. Okay.
I
Like-
wanted to give a little bit of a hint, but I feel like this could also
Like
put you in the
superhero
wrong
capes?
direction.
Yeah.
No capes.
Yeah.
No capes.
Like a holster.
A holster, okay. Ooh. Okay, but like here's the thing. Like what if you're going to Comic-Con or something? Like
This
they
is
can't
true.
ban you. But also I'm thinking like, oh, wait. I honestly don't think TTC is Comic-Con friendly.
But sometimes you will see like people in their full like anime getup
Yes.
on the TTC. It's
As
beautiful.
they should. It's awesome.
It's actually
Yeah.
super cool. I've been like, I've had the
It's a privilege.
on the TTC in cosplay experience.
Mhm.
It's like-
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Nice.
But yeah, no, wearable item. I don't know. I feel like I'm blanking on what that could be.
It's like a top hat.
A top hat? Or
Yeah.
like a fedora?
Just like
Yeah.
atrocious, like
Fedoras.
black Air Force Ones. Just
Yeah,
like-
insane.
Yeah.
It's actually inline skates and skateboards.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you unfortunately can't skateboard in the TTC.
I feel like I definitely have seen people wearing inline skates just because they don't care.
It just-
like,
yeah,
shout out
like,
to that.
Who's gonna
just
call them
zip-zapping
out,
around
man?
on the
They're just living
TTC.
their best life. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is actually kind of relevant. This is kind of a shout out, and we'll understand it when I read the answer.
Mm-hmm.
A Twitter poll was conducted to ask which station had the best what. The winner was Bathurst Station, but Warden Station was a close second. They both had the same supplier.
Okay. I feel like
Do
I
you know
definitely know the
this?
real answer, but
Okay.
I'd love to say they have the best. Before I heard you say which stations, I
Yeah.
was thinking like washrooms. But
Oh my God,
Bathurst,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But then you
So
said
important.
Bathurst.
yeah,
I'm like, they
Bathurst
do
and
not
Warden don't
good
have
ones.
washrooms.
You had to
Yeah.
check your facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was in the same research that I was doing, like I'm looking up like TTC blogs and stuff, and one of them was like, here are the actual good washrooms that you can use, and what stations you shouldn't go to for washrooms. I'm like, this is the conversation that we need to be having.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
tangential to what the real answer is, I
Yeah.
would say like date spots. You know, the best
Ooh.
date spots.
So
Yeah.
Bathurst and Warden
Yeah,
had the best
yeah.
date spots. Okay, but like terrible washrooms.
Yeah. yeah.
So,
or
like-
no washrooms.
Oh yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking like elevators, you know?
Ooh,
That's a good thing to know.
Like,
To know which
reliable,
elevators are
good.
sketch and
Yes.
which elevators are good. Yeah.
Interesting. I never really thought about elevators as being sketchy, but now I'm kind of nervous.
Some of the elevators are
gotta-
like weird, dude.
Ooh, okay. So, Logan, do you want to say the correct answer?
I'm gonna say that the real answer is beef patties.
Yeah.
Like Bathurst iconic, Warden also iconic for
Yeah.
the beef patties.
Yeah.
Good to know that they have the same supplier.
They're
That makes
literally
sense.
the same.
Yeah.
But people just rated them as like, Bathurst was number one.
Yeah. And right now we gotta wait for the Warden beef patties to come back.
Wait, they're gone?
Because Warden Station, where the beef patties were, was in the iconic mid-century bus situation.
Yeah.
So there was like the big bus terminal where there'd be the main like platform where you'd be waiting for the buses or waiting to, I guess, figure out which bus you're gonna go on.
Yeah.
That's where the beef patty place was. There was obviously they sold other things. And there was also, I think there was like clothing shops, like other little shops that were on that part. Once you knew which bus you were going to take, then you would find the bay that it was in and walk down the stairs to where the bus was. So
Wild.
completely not accessible
Yeah.
because the only way you could access all the separate bays was by like going down a particular set of stairs.
Unfortunate.
So that was a style of bus terminal that they had at other stations as well. I think Warden was the last surviving one, and last fall, I think it was last fall, completely demolished.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're redoing it. If you go to Warden now, you have to like board the buses in like this like parking lot situation, because they're building a new like fully accessible, fancy new bus terminal. So I think that means that the beef patty place is not in operation right now because
That's so
it's literally
sad.
rubble.
Yeah.
But when they build the new bus terminal, I would be very, very surprised if they
didn't include it.
put shop spaces in so that you
Yeah.
could have those beef patties again.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bathurst also very notable for
Very
its beef
notable.
patties.
Yeah.
In my research, it came up that there was all this drama or this like hullabaloo in, I guess probably maybe in like the 80s and like 90s
Yeah.
that Bathurst was not really at that time as much of Koreatown as it is now, but it was like more popular as like a black neighborhood, and there were like a lot of kids in that area, like young people, teenagers, that would hang out in Bathurst Station. Because if you were going to go visit your friends, you could use your TTC fare. You just hang out in Bathurst Station, get your beef patties, you hang out,
Yeah.
and then you go home. You don't have to pay 2 fares.
There you go.
Very smart. So it became like this huge like social gathering spot for like young black teens and
No
like black kids.
way.
And obviously security in the station was like, this is an issue
Oh my god.
because they're
God.
racist.
Yeah.
So yeah, like horrible nicknames, like Bathurst was called Blackhurst at that
Oh.
time. Like people would
Ew.
call it that. So it was like this ongoing thing, but there was a TTC like security officer or constable
Yeah.
who was black himself, and they were like, you got to figure out what's happening here. And he just talked to the kids, he talked to these like young people, he got the lay of the land, and he was like, it's chill
They're
as far as we
vibing.
know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a bit of Bathurst history that I don't think you necessarily see that as much now because
Yeah.
the neighborhood around it has changed so much. But
That's so interesting.
but the beef patties, it's beef patties all the way down.
Yeah.
It's
Test of
yeah.
time.
Mhm,
That's amazing.
mhm.
I need to go get a beef patty.
Yes.
And I think as promo for this episode, I will.
Yes.
I will,
SMC field
it
trip.
will be a picture of
Mhm.
me holding a beef patty in Bathurst. Fantastic. Okay, we have 2 more. We're hanging in there. At the Spadina station, what part of the station, donated in 1979, has never been vandalized or defaced, and in 2015 had its first deep clean?
Oh my goodness.
So this is actually crazy because Toronto, there's so much, what's it called?
graffiti.
Graffiti, yeah, everywhere.
Mm.
The fact, especially in a TTC station,
Mm-hmm.
there's this thing, and it's so beloved by the community, it has never been like damaged at all, ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And the fact that it was in like donated in 1979 till now, it's still never been attacked.
Okay, the donated part makes me think about one of the exits to Spadina is a
Okay.
historic house,
Oh.
but I don't know if I feel like it would. Why would that keep it from being defaced? I don't know.
What if it's like a really nice bench, you know?
Oh,
It's like
okay.
a really
Aw.
nice bench.
Do you think like maybe it was like a donate, like there's like a name on it?
Yeah,
or
exactly. Like you
something?
said, donate. I was like, oh, like, you know, people have like benches in honor of.
Yeah, it would have to be a
in
really beloved
honor.
person.
Who would it
yeah,
be
for
in?
someone to not
Hypothetically,
deface it?
like who's
Yeah.
beloved by all? I don't know. Maybe
Bob
someone.
Ford.
Oh my God. Or like someone, I guess, from the specific community around
Yeah.
Spadina, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what? Not that I can't imagine that any part of like the tunnel in between the walking tunnel in between the line 2 and line 1 station at Spadina, that was just built. It wasn't donated. But I do
Right.
feel like I never really traverse that part of the station, but it is definitely a Toronto landmark of like walking through the liminal space of this hallway.
Yeah.
There's always like buskers there. It's like definitely a vibe. So I would think that maybe that space is so beloved no one would deface it.
Maybe.
But also the tunnel is such a huge space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like someone's gotta have
Certainly
done
there's
something.
someone doing
There has to
something
be-
somewhere, but I'm so curious to know the answer.
Okay, so great answers. The correct answer, there are 3 totems donated to the TTC by Wigwamen, a nonprofit urban indigenous housing provider. And they're made from red cedar. So these red cedar totems, they represent an owl, a wolf, and a hawk. And they're these beautiful 3 totems. And there's like a little, a little section, the divider.
Right.
But
I can picture that now.
they're so like available to the public. There's no glass, there's no protection. And they've never been attacked, destroyed, graffitied, defaced at all. Donated in 1979. And it was such a huge deal. They got they did their research to figure out how do we clean this beautiful work of art because we don't want to damage it. And the whole city, like not the whole city, but like the whole community came to watch it get cleaned.
Oh, that's so nice.
And it was like a reopening of it. It was really sweet.
You know what? That's great. I really appreciate that they went to the lengths of like really the bare minimum of like being like, we're not going to damage these as we're cleaning them. But that is a major issue for Toronto sometimes. St. Mike's Fact, right nearby St. Mike's.
Oh my goodness.
This is not on campus, but the horse statue that's in Queen's Park that you might have to walk by if you're walking to like almost literally anywhere on campus. That statue, there's like a long history, but it's essentially like a colonial statue. It was originally in India. It was like brought to the park because Queen's Park wanted to have a colonial statue there.
Very interesting.
So as a result, it's been sometimes the site of like protest for various things.
Yeah.
There was a time when I think it was a Black Lives Matter group or some similar protest group threw, I think it was pink paint onto the statue in like their active protest. But specifically, they used water soluble paint so that it could just be washed off with water because they knew that the statue would be cleaned eventually.
Yes.
But when the city, or maybe it was like Queen's Park staff, went to go take the paint off the statue, they did not test to see if it was water soluble, and they used like super harsh acidic treatments to get the paint off, which was not needed.
That's so
now that statue, when you look at it, it's quite stained, stained, not from paint being thrown on it, which is what people assume that these protesters ruined our statue. It's from the city like acid bombing their own statue, even though it was specifically water soluble paint. Anyway, a bit of a story, but
insane.
Now when you look at that statue and it's like a bit ugly on the outside, and
then you're like, wow,
you're like, it's actually the city.
Good.
So shout out to them for using the right treatments to clean those.
They
cedar.
consulted people. So I would also love to go and visit these totems. So that's on my bucket list.
Yeah, right after Bathurst.
Right after I'll have the Jamaican patty in hand on my journey. Okay, the final question. You guys have been doing so good. According to the blog TO, the TTC plays what at some stations to discourage loitering, especially for the youth.
Especially for the youth.
What do they play?
My first thought was like really annoying bird calls.
Oh my god.
That would get me out of there.
Wait. When I think of bird calls, I'm like, how can they be annoying?
I was like screeching. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
like
not
an
chirping.
Angry owl. Yeah.
Can you imagine? Okay, what do we think, Zach?
Dude, they're saying like what it plays, and the only thing that comes to mind is like, drum, 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 and it's like the TTC is a safe space.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
If you see something, say something.
Whoa, I'm like back in the
Announcements.
station.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, outside TMU station, which I frequent quite often, there is sometimes, I don't know if it's the TTC or if it's the building that's there, the Tenor, which is the building that the Cineplex is in. They play like classical music sometimes, like really loud classical music.
Do you know what kind of classical music?
I don't even know.
Okay, but you can tell it's like the.
It's Bach or I don't know. Maybe it's
like...
Well, while I was going through there, I was like, they could have like a music program where they could have like young composers like compose the music, and then I was like, maybe
is that the point though?
Maybe if you're a young composer, you don't want your name as like the stamp of approval on like the anti-loitering music. It's like maybe that's not,
it's
the
not
achievement.
You want to be tied to.
Yeah.
It's like Yeah, the loyalty would be
Mm-hmm.
good. Okay, so Logan, you're actually correct.
Really?
They specifically they want to play classical music, and they play classical music to discourage loitering.
They're like, the youth hate classical
yeah,
music.
it's just not their vibe, and they're gonna
So
hate it so
funny.
much they're not gonna stick around.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy.
Which I feel like there's gotta be someone out there who loves classical
You
music.
know what?
That is just
Literally.
living
Yeah.
their life and
Yeah.
wants to loiter.
When I walk by that entrance to
Yeah.
TMU
You
station,
take your time.
I am like, this is kind of beautiful. Like,
Really?
as I'm waiting here,
Oh
you
my
know, you
God.
could be waiting there for your friends. You're going to Cineplex. You're
Yeah.
going to Little Canada. It's also the building that Little Canada is in.
Yeah.
Just be jamming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it's been working. There was no poll, so I can't
You know what?
tell
I never see youth loitering out there. I
There
see
you
some
go.
adults, but
Yeah.
the youth are literally turned away from classical music.
Wow.
They can't stand it.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Mhm.
Damn.
So maybe it is working. Okay, so we've learned a lot about the TTC with this fun
Definitely.
fact style trivia. And I know that this episode is quite long, but we're going to do a quick second segment and then we're going to be done. So for this second part, due to the theme of stations being renamed many a time, we were like, I was thinking in my head, and you guys have also participated in this. I think we could rename some stations.
We can
as well.
definitely rename
Absolutely.
some
And I think we can
Yeah.
do it a little bit better, you know? So we're going to rename some stations. So everyone is getting out all their devices. And I actually, at the end of this, I actually put out a little question on our social media to ask our fellow St. Mike's
Oh, lovely.
people.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, what they would
We're covering
rename
all our
stations.
bases.
Yeah.
By the end of this, every station will be renamed.
Honestly, that would be insane coverage. I based on my experience, I usually don't travel north on line 1.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I usually don't travel is Kennedy East?
Kennedy's East, yeah.
I usually travel west and then Union. Like
Okay, well, we're going to
south.
cover everything because
So-
I only really travel east on line 2.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
got west.
Yeah.
You got east, and then
I'm like exclusively line 1.
there we go.
Okay, we've got
so
everything.
we got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, who
It's
cares about
fantastic.
line 4? You know, it doesn't exist.
I
Yeah.
care about line
Okay, you
4.
can-
I've been on line 4 so many times.
Love
I
that.
love
Oh my
line
goodness.
4.
Line 4 is kind of charming. And it opened my birth year, so I'm kind of attached to
Aw,
it.
You're
yeah.
attached to many things.
I'm attached to
TTC.
almost everything in the TTC. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I was
Yeah.
on line 4 for 4 whole years.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was very important to me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
All those Bazarian heads out there.
Yeah,
They love
exactly.
the shout out.
They
Yeah.
know. They know. They feel seen. Okay, so I think how we should do this is we'll go.
Just go one by one and then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So should I say all of mine? I only have a couple, guys. It's pretty bad.
We should. I feel like we should go in a circle.
So I'll
Oh,
say
it's
one.
like
you say
one by
one.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's a good
thinking,
idea.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. So my first one. So so I got museum. Does anyone have museum as well?
I didn't.
No,
put
actually.
museum
I thought
down.
museum was a
No.
perfect name.
Okay, guys, I can do it better. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
go for it. Go for
Okay.
it.
Instead of museum, I think we should rename it Intro to Archaeology. Because I feel like that's the vibe, you know?
Mhm.
Like especially when I go onto this station, I think, wow, I could be an archaeologist.
Yeah.
Because now I have seen
That's all you need.
archaeological things.
As an archaeologist, I can
Whoa.
say.
Right?
Sure.
Exactly. Okay, Logan, on to you.
Okay, my first one, which I actually think is quite charming,
Okay.
is Bloor Young Station.
Yes.
I'm thinking, it could be both sides of the station or half of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be renamed Library Station. And this is because in 1976,
Yeah.
it was almost renamed Library Station.
No way.
Really?
Because 1977 was when the Toronto Reference Library opened, which is right
Yes.
by
It's
the
so
station.
pretty. It's so pretty.
So the Metro Library Board of Toronto, because this was before Toronto was amalgamated. So
Mm-hmm.
Metro Toronto, the Metro Toronto Library Board suggested that the station could be renamed Library Station,
Mm-hmm.
and they also had the Metro Library sign installed to point you towards the
Pretty.
library, because that was before it was called the Reference Library too.
Yes.
So I think that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in the style of Museum Station, where Museum Station is talking about the Royal Ontario Museum, but it's just saying Museum Station.
Exactly.
So the Library Station is referencing the reference
reference
library, but it's just library. Unlike now we have Aga Khan Park and Museum Station
Yeah.
on line 5.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a whole mouthful. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's Aga Khan Park and museum.
Yeah,
So I love the
it's a long
ambiguity
time.
of just having library station. I think that could be
Yeah.
really good.
That's pretty good.
You know, I saw a station name on line 5 today as I was just walking over.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was called Hakimi Petrovich.
Hakimi
Interesting.
Lebovic, I think.
Lebovic.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. What is it?
Is that
Is there like a
someone's name?
background to that?
Yeah, well, there's 2 streets in that area. That's the thing about the Eglinton line and the other LRTs too, but mostly Eglinton, is that they had to come up with new station names for all the cross streets that are already named on line 2. So they had to come up with other names for those
They should have
intersections.
just hired us.
So
Like, I
yeah,
don't know what they're doing.
Hakimi and Lebovic. It's funny because they're both names, but it's not a person's name. It's 2 different names.
It sounds like a person's
So
name,
there
though.
was there was someone I don't know the full names, but there's a street called Hakimi, maybe it's an avenue that's named after someone with that name. There's also a street called Lebovic in the same area that's named after another different person. So now they have a beautiful ship name.
They have a love child.
Yes, Hakimi Lebovic
They
Station.
have a ship name. Oh my
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. So that's what
Amazing.
it is, which is it's a fun station.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I was gonna be like, as a more satirical to your amazing actual legit name for.
Oh, don't worry.
for
All of
Gloria.
mine are like very.
I was like, instead of library, what if we call it just like the reference station? 'Cause
Reference
it
station.
references the reference
Prince Library. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I like library. Library is
Mhm.
good, and I feel like once they have a name in mind, that gives them a vision of how they can decorate the station.
Yes.
And I feel like a station labeled library,
Yes, exactly.
the aesthetic, the decoration, it could like
Get the same
ideas are
architects
endless.
from
Yes.
museum.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It could be
That's very
insane. We
true.
could be in like there could be bookshelves.
You could
and
have
shit.
you could have like a take a book, leave a book in the station.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
many of those.
Yeah.
Do you think that they would be appreciated and not deface like the totems?
I
Or do you think they would get
they can
attacked?
hire the TTC can hire someone who maybe even has like a background in libraries, like perhaps
Ooh,
myself.
that'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah. New
To be
jobs?
the manager of the library station library.
That
Yeah.
could be very cool.
Dream job
Oh
right
my
there.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, can you oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Who do we need to call?
Yeah.
To make this happen?
Get Jamal Myers on this. He'll
Exactly.
be there. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, Zach, what's your station name?
Okay, so this is more personal for me, but this is about Finch. And Finch, I called it Wakey Wakey.
Okay.
Because the amount of times that I saw someone, me included, just be asleep at that station
Yep.
and exactly just wake up there
Yes.
is so
Because it's at the
incredible.
end of the line,
Yeah.
right?
Like somehow they can be like knocked out the entire way.
Yes.
And the moment the doors open at Finch, they're like,
A
They
sleeper
arouse,
agent.
yeah.
Yeah.
They rouse up. Yeah, that's crazy. That's such a good name too. It's so like catchy.
yeah,
You know?
I know, right? And on the topic of Finch definitely has great bathrooms.
Okay, good to
Okay.
know.
Finch definitely has great
For our
bathrooms.
listeners to know this, Finch has good bathrooms.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
You just have to travel all the way to Line
Yeah. If you're in the area.
If you happen to be,
Yeah.
good bathrooms. Good to know. Okay. I have one for Union.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have one for Union?
No,
Zach?
I don't.
What? Okay.
No, because I actually thought Union was. I thought about it, and I was like,
Yeah.
Union is actually kind of a great name.
It is an amazing name, and I made a worse name.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
We'll be the judges of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's very wordy.
Go for it.
So I named Union Where to Go Somewhere Else. Because it's
Yeah.
always
You know,
go there
that's so
to
fair.
go somewhere
Yeah.
else.
That's so
Can you imagine?
reasonable.
Oh yeah, where am I getting it off? I'm going where to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
okay.
No, that's so true. I feel like definitely most, if not all of the times I'm getting off at Union, I'm
Yeah.
transferring to a GO train.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Go
could it be
train
called
station.
Go train.
Go
That'd be
station.
funny.
Go station.
Go station,
station.
Yeah.
or like transfer station.
Yeah.
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 Somewhere like that. I feel like calling out the fact that it is such a like it's the place to go places. You know.
Yeah.
Something like
you
that.
know what? Fun fact time about
Fun
Union
fact.
Okay.
Station.
Yes.
The GO train network was not robust, or I don't think it was even around when Union Station was built, like the subway station part of it.
Yeah.
So King Station was originally going to be like the major station on the southern part of
No way.
Line
Oh.
1. The
my
idea
God.
was that it would be suburban people getting on at Eglinton, getting on at Summerhill, you know, those stations up there, and
Yeah.
getting off at King because they worked in the financial district.
Mm.
The idea was not that Union would be the most popular station. So Union was built very small. It was not built to really handle the traffic that it does now.
Yeah.
But after Union Station went in, the Sky Dome, CN Tower, all of these things that came after when Union Station was built, it became clear that they needed to expand it. So it was the first station to undergo major renovations.
No way.
Because they needed to fiddle around with the tracks and create more space for people. And it's been renovated many times since.
Many a time. It looks really nice. I think they often film in Union, like for movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's very
It's
very
the
beautiful.
big train transfer part.
Yeah, especially if you have to get to like via, you have to go that area. It is very like when I have friends from Montreal who like ship themselves over here and they like come into Union and they're like, wow, oh my
So
goodness. And I'm like,
beautiful.
you guys don't even know I live at St. Mike's, okay?
Yeah.
Like the area is very beautiful. Okay, so I have a 2-part kind of station name change. So I have 2 stations that need to be changed simultaneously. They're
Okay.
like a
Okay.
package deal.
All right.
And this is what I have been told in my own experience as well, as someone who frequents like west to Kipling, like very often.
Okay.
So I would rename Runnymede High Park, and I would rename High Park Sketchy High Park.
Sketchy High Park.
Because I have been told to never get off of High Park because it's sketchy, and Runnymede is right at High Park anyway. That it's literally Hyde Park.
Okay.
Interesting. I might have to get on that. I've never
Yeah.
gotten off at Runnymede. I've always
It's
gotten
so
off
beautiful.
at Hyde Park.
It's right in the middle of Loras Village, which I think I was trying to find research about this, but someone told me that in a survey that was done a long time ago, Loras Village was like the best place to live. It's a very nice, sweet neighborhood. My grandparents live there, so I'm like there all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And Hyde Park is like across the street, dude.
Yeah.
So I don't
Wow,
even know
okay.
what the station Hyde Park are you emerging like in Hyde Park, which I don't know if you know how in museum you emerge in Queen's Park.
Yes, yeah.
That can be sketchy sometimes, especially at night. And Hyde Park is huge, right?
Right,
So
that's
like
right.
the sketchiness, I guess, is like higher up,
That's fair.
exponential. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know what? I confess I think I've been to Runnymede Station. I
Yeah.
think I did like an exam to get into like a science high school that was in the West
Okay.
End, and I think I had to get out of Runnymede. That's maybe my
Nice.
only experience with it. But I don't know if I've ever been out at Hyde Park, so can't vouch the sketchiness or the sketchiness. But
yeah. So you have to take my word for it, which is my word. It's someone else's word, actually. It's not actually my word.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Call it telephone station because we've heard so much about it.
Just trust,
Yeah.
guys. Just trust.
Yeah. So that's my my package deal of stations, and I
Okay.
feel like if my grandparents are listening, they would laugh. So
fair.
Loki did it for them. Okay, Logan, we're going to you.
Yes. Okay. So in the theme of having very like earnest station names.
Yes.
I think I missed
I
the
love
comedy
this
element
theme.
of this.
No, it's
No,
okay.
it's okay. It's okay.
It's great.
I think this is something that most people I think would agree with,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
that Don Valley Station, which
Yes.
is the station on the Crosstown line,
Okay.
should be given its rightful original name, Science Center Station.
Oh,
Ooh.
absolutely.
So this
Yes.
is, I fear that if I start talking about the tragedy of the Science Center, we'll have a whole nother podcast episode. So
Bonus episode 2.
yeah, won't go into all that, but literally so sad what is going on with the Science Center. And
Aw.
the station was originally going to be called Science Center Station. This was in all the plans.
Yep.
Yep.
The Ontario line was designed to go to the Science Center, and then someone who we all know decided that wouldn't be the case.
We won't name
And-
names.
Yeah,
Lil
exactly.
bro. We got Lil bro over here.
Yeah. And when the first trips on the Crosstown were happening on opening day, I wasn't there. But apparently, we could ask Angus about this.
Fair.
When the train went through Don Valley Station, people chanted, Science Center, Science Center, Science Center.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So definitely people, I think, christen it with the name Science Center.
Yeah.
I think that should catch on colloquially, and I think that we should pressure the TTC to,
For
not that
sure.
it's the TTC's sins, they weren't the ones that did this, but I think
No.
that in a historic capacity, they could at least, mark the
Back
place
it
that
up.
it could have been,
Yeah.
that it once was, and say this is Science Center Station, the defunct Science Center Station.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. Just
That's a
put
really
like
good name.
you know how they do it like formerly Dundas under the TMU. Just put it in
yeah.
brackets like formerly Science
Yeah,
Center.
do a subtitle.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
So that's my bit of grief with
Fair.
That's very
Justified
understandable.
grief.
yeah.
As you
Yeah.
will. Okay, Zach.
Okay, so this is it's 12. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is
We've been here a while.
yeah. Okay, so we're talking about Davisville right now.
Okay.
And I actually, just to make sure, I timed it this morning as I was getting here. I call it 3 minutes of signal.
Oh my god.
Because it's right after Eglinton where you don't have signal, and then you have 3 minutes of like the time where the subway's above ground and you
Yes.
can have signal and you can
Yes!
send messages.
That's always the best.
Yeah.
You're always like, oh my god, thank God.
And you have like
Yeah.
I timed it this morning. It was like around 3 minutes of signal that you have from leaving Eglinton
Yeah.
to once you get into St. Clair.
Amazing.
That's your 3 minutes of signal.
That's really
That's all you
good.
get.
That's a
Yeah.
good name for a station. That's amazing. Okay, I have one more. Old Mill.
Okay.
I would name it Birds.
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 Okay.
They have Old Mill is my favorite station. It's above ground, which is amazing.
Oh, perfect.
And because of that, they have beautiful windows.
Yes.
And the windows are there's like a bunch of the phrase like littered with stuff, but it's not littered, it's decorated. So these windows are decorated with silhouettes of birds so that the birds don't hit
Yes.
the windows.
And that is such an iconic part
Yes.
of Old Mill.
Yeah.
That's literally the best
So I would
part.
name it
Yeah.
Birds.
Beauty.
And they could
Beautiful.
even, if they're like afraid of like loitering, they could have bird sounds for the youth,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that
Wow.
would be a fun time.
No, Old
Very
Mill
cool.
definitely. I don't get on the west side of Line 2 enough,
Yeah.
and I definitely
It's
should.
nice.
I'm in my unemployed era right now.
Go visit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bring
could
a
do that.
Jamaican patty with you.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
as company and then explore.
Mhm.
I recommend.
Yeah.
Do you have any more station names or are you done?
I have many a station name
Okay.
idea, but I'll add one more, which I
Okay,
think
yes.
is. I think Queen Station
Mm-hmm.
could be renamed City Hall Station.
That's a good one.
And
That's a good
I
one.
think
Yes.
I think it's fun in the ambiguity of museum and library station as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which city hall might that refer to? You know, both of them, old city hall and new city hall,
Yeah.
are right there. So I think that's kind of fun. I think that people in Toronto maybe don't have a sense of exactly where city hall is.
Mm-hmm.
If they do, I think like who do you know that's just walked into city hall and like talked to a city councilor? That's something you can do, but I
Did
don't
not know
think
that.
anyone really does it. So maybe we could promote city hall, promote civic engagement.
Yes.
That would
Could
be
have
really
city hall
cool.
station. Also, I know that on original maps of the TTC, there was going to be there was going to be line 2 on Blue or Danforth.
Mm-hmm.
The second line was going to be a streetcar subway where like streetcars went underground
Whoa.
and above ground along Queen Street.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the stops there that was going to be the stop one west of where Queen Station is right now was going to be City Hall Station.
There you go.
So could bring that back. I'd also like to say that on that proposed streetcar subway, there was going to be Logan Station.
So
Really?
why don't you just name it Logan Station?
Well, yeah. So when the Ontario line goes in, which is going to cover some of the spot that's original subway was going to cover, they could bring back a Logan Station.
That's huge.
I think they've already decided on the names, but we can lobby.
we can lobby.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we can lobby. Yeah.
We can, yeah, for sure.
You have
We
two
could sign a
lobbyers
petition.
right here.
Yeah.
Exactly. When this podcast goes like and becomes super, super, super successful,
Yeah.
they can use this as a reference to
Exactly.
be like, we are the voice of
Yeah.
the people.
Exactly. You heard it
Definitely.
here first.
Yes.
Exactly.
Heard it here first.
That's really cool. That would be so cool. You have a
Yeah.
new station named after you. Zach, do you have one more? Or are we done?
Dude, I have like a lot more, but
Okay, give us one more. A
one
final.
more. Okay, I like my favorite one out of these ones.
Yeah.
I renamed Vaughan Metropolitan Center to I call it Almost Wonderland.
That's
a
good.
beautiful name for a
That's a
station.
good
That's
name.
so funny.
Because it's literally the only time I've ever been there is to get on the bus to Wonderland.
Literally. Yeah.
But like it's not there. So
Yeah.
you always just like wait there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Almost Wonderland.
Oh, you're so close. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
poetic.
Yeah,
Almost
honestly.
Wonderland.
Especially at like the end of a line too. Like the next step is out of reach. Very poetic. That's really good.
It's like the opposite of going somewhere else at Union Station.
Where to go somewhere else, and then you have Almost Wonderland.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna end this episode with a little bit of our submissions for the people. Okay, so I asked, give me your dream TTC name, and these are our submissions. So someone responded, a nod to any of the culture villages, like Little Italy, Little India, K-Town, etc.
Yeah.
Which I think is such a good idea. Is there any stations that are near? I'm really not well versed. And
I think Bathurst is like near Koreatown,
Bathurst,
right?
yeah, so Bathurst, we change it to K-Town. That'd be cool.
Spadina Station is sort of...
It's like near Kensington-ish.
Yeah. But maybe when the Queen... When the Ontario line goes through, there could be opportunity for like a Chinatown station.
That would be nice. That would be really cool. Okay, someone said Ukenvale Station.
Ukenvale?
Which I don't know what the reference is.
Don't.
But there's a fire emoji.
Okay.
All right.
You know what? We'll find out later.
Yeah, exactly. And then someone said, instead of Keel Station, keeling over.
Keeling over. Keeling over from
good.
having to be on line 2 for so long.
Literally.
That's me traveling from Main Street. That's where my parents' house is. If I'm at Keel, something's gone wrong.
It's a hot
I'm
mess.
keeling over by the time I get there.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then we have Bathurst. Like you're
Bathurst.
thirsty.
Okay.
Which is basically the same name, but a different play
Get a
on
little
words.
drink with your beef patty.
Exactly. Right? And then the other one was not Wellesley. Like not well.
Not Wellesley. Okay.
Which I can show you guys. So it's the words not well
Wellesley.
and then
Yeah.
slee.
You know
For
what? I
Wellesley.
feel like that would help me spell it better.
Yes.
Because I feel like
I always spell it wrong.
you forget about that extra E or whatever.
Yeah.
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 So we're promoting literacy on the TTC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which
Literature
as-
and Lore Club.
Literature and
Yeah,
lore.
look at where
Writing
we
the
are.
literature. Yeah. So thanks again to all of our wonderful submissions. Everyone's very creative and very thoughtful. So appreciate it. We're going to head out into our outro. Finally. Like the TTC, it never ends. Thank you so much for listening to episode 4. We're not actually episode 4. We're bonus episode 1. I got to reframe. So we're bonus episode 1. Thanks again to wonderful co-hosts Zach and Logan. Thank you guys for being here and yapping about the TTC.
Yes, thank you for having us.
For a crazy
absolutely.
amount of time. I was very entertained. And I didn't know that I could know so much about the TTC. So this is
And there's so
actually
much
crazy.
more.
And there's so
you can
much
know.
more, which is insane.
Yeah. If anyone's ever in a room with me, you're gonna know more about the TTC.
Insane.
Yeah.
I will send people your way
Thank
if I
you.
know
Thank
that
you.
they're interested.
Mhm.
We can shout out the Innis College.
Oh,
Innis
yeah.
Herald
So once
Podcast.
again, shout out to the Innis Herald Podcast. We, again, are on Spotify
Yeah.
under the Innis Herald Podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have episodes coming out like in a bi-weekly thing, or when can we expect episodes to come out for you guys?
Honestly, we're kind of just vibing around with
I
it.
love that.
Expect maybe monthly, bi-monthly, something like that.
something like that.
We have
Nice.
we have like a summer thing going on. I think planned. Yeah.
When is the episode that we did kind of come out?
Oh, I think you're probably gonna have to expect it around the summer. I'd say.
And this will come out around the summer
Exactly.
too.
So we have like the
It's on theme.
like a
Perfect
scheduled
time.
collab. You
Yes. Okay, we did that on purpose, obviously.
know. Exactly.
Amazing. You can follow SMC Unfiltered on our socials at SMC Unfiltered on Instagram. We are on TikTok. These episodes are on Spotify, SMC Unfiltered, and they're also on YouTube. We previously had a way for people to submit SMC fan fiction, but since this series is no more, if you still want to submit SMC fan fiction, we can put it on our Linktree. We can promote the stories. That's very possible, but we are no longer reading those fics on the pod, unfortunately. So I just want to say I wish everyone all the best. I hope there are no TTC delays and everything runs very smoothly. And thank you. And we're gonna say bye.
Okay. All right. And in the spirit of the TTC, you know.
TTC.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Hello, everyone. Arriving at end of episode, bonus episode 1. This is a terminal episode. All right.
There you go. And then there's like the door sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.